Now. Okay, welcome back everyone to another week of our virtual spotlight series. This week we have Oakworks. We have Jessica and Bryce with us, and they are superstars in the world of spa equipment, and I can't wait to, hopefully you're going to talk about it a little bit. I saw that you had you have your Oakworks Medical up here and some of the cool things that you've done over the course of the last year with COVID and supporting medical facilities and of course spas. So without further ado, I'm going to hand it on over to you, Jessica.
Well, thank you, everyone. And we know that right now it is a especially busy time. Very few of you even have time to be on a Zoom call, and some of you will watch this recorded or on Facebook Live. So I promise we're going to be very valuable today in the information that we share, specifically to you as the spa director, whether you're in the market for tables or not, whether you're considering your CapEx spending for next year, whether you are in need of new tables, but you're not sure how to talk to your general manager. I'm going to give you 5 tips of how to talk to your general manager about CapEx. And then, maybe there's simple things that we can do with your equipment where we can add very inexpensive accessories to work with what you've got, despite the brand. There's also various hot trends right now, touchless. How do I explain to my GM of yielding an ROI with some of these innovations? What do I do if, still 84% of my demand today is massage? How do I consider weaving in some of these technologies? So I think these topics are very hot and very relevant. It will be fun and educational in nature. Most of you are equipment experts, so my job really is just to inspire you with your thinking of, how to work with your general manager or your ownership at various levels. So we'll get right into it. We just returned from Spa Tech and Spa Peeps in Miami, and I know many of you I just saw recently. I saw Ben on. I miss you guys already, but the good news is lots of people turned up. Lots of people turned out and showed up. There was a huge nationwide turnout, and so it's great to see. We know again that the spas have a huge pent-up demand, and we're going to talk about all those things as well. So thank you very much. So here's what we're going to cover today, just to keep your interest, to make sure it's worth your while of tuning in. But I really want to talk about press and public relations, how we can be a great partner to you for press and public relations. Oftentimes you don't think about that with equipment, but we can. Sustainability and manufacturing and supply chain. I think we're all super passionate about this quest of truly living the lifestyle and making sure that we're making ourselves personally and then both within the business the right decisions when it comes to sustainability. I think most of the manufacturers are very conscious about sustainability. We're really going to take it to the next level, especially in light of what is happening right now with a global supply chain shortage and with freight costs tripling. I have a lot to share with you that's fun from a manufacturer's standpoint as well. And then, new updates, technologies and features. What is there new to share with that? And then, again, the tips. I actually wrote a little quick cheat sheet, tips to aid you in your conversations with your general manager or your ownership and CapEx planning. So very exciting. Let's jump right into press and public reviews. So we just shipped new tables. This is one of the beautiful Talise tables behind me. We just shipped new tables to our Viceroy Snowmass, so they're getting all new tables. I'm going to talk about what they received, pricing, different features that they incorporated into their tables, but we're very excited about that. Hopefully they're on the line. Hello, my friends. But I thought that was fun community news to share with the Rocky Mountain Spa Association. And then this month on the cover of American Spa Magazine is Ojai. I know that's not particularly within the Rocky Mountain, but I wanted to note the press-worthy features here, and the table that I have behind me was installed in Ojai, and I'll share with you some feedback and some press about that. So, it's been very interesting because then on the other page in news in American Spa Magazine, we have the Beverly Hills Hotel. And this is just, again, ways in which we can partner with you to really ensure that we're getting the most press, both trade and both regular B2C public press. And we'll talk about that as well in some of the features that were coming up here. So I'm teasing you a little bit. This is some language you can use with your general manager and your marketing departments, but press is so very important, and we're all about it as well. I'm going to come back to this one in a little bit because I'm going to do a little teaser on touchless therapies and what our philosophy is on that. But this is also some things that we did for some local spas here near you. So what are those? What's that GM speak? What is that GM language? I know you all know this, but oftentimes you don't think, well, how can I lean on the manufacturer to assist me? So what is that GM speak? It is risk management. And I bet if you sit there and you reflect on some of your general managers or your ownership, these are going to vary by ranking of what is important to them. So some are all about risk management. Some are all about guest retention. Some are all about revenue generation and what is my ROI? How do I convince them to add touchless therapies into my multi-treatment beds, for example? Some are all about price. They are bottom of the barrel. I've had some of the most luxury properties around the world have a GM that's really, really price point conscious. And then underneath the same brand, have a GM in another hotel and they want to spend top of the line. So your GM's personality or your ownership's personality. And we're going to talk about all of these things and how you can really, again, incorporate this into your presentations. Bryce and I are here if we can help provide you with content. And then, of course, you're delivering that message to your GM is what you're an expert about, but our job is to assist you in any way that we can. And then some are like, no, we're not going to invest in any new tables. And, right now, for whatever reason, and we want to, you have to convince them about things you can do to help with things like aging fabric or tears in the fabric or things of that nature. We'll talk about that too. So I think these are the top 5: risk management, guest retention, revenue generation and ROI, shop price, many different levels. So for example, Ojai had the top of the line, beautiful, drop dead gorgeous beds. And then Viceroy really did something that was in a mid-tier price point, and same with Beverly Hills. So, but they still have all luxury features across and available across the board. So I really want to convey that. We spent the last 6 months really perfecting the features and tables and making sure that they were accessible across all price points. And sure enough, what we're seeing today is that's exactly what's happening, is that there's top tier and then there's mid-level as well. So that's what we're going to cover today. I think it'll be good for us all and be very valuable as well. So most of you know Oakworks. Thank you so much for being loyal. I'm going to share maybe some things, loyal customers. I've enjoyed our relationships over the years. We've been in business for over 40 years. In the last economic downturn, in 2008, we diversified and became a true medical company. And we're talking about FDA Class 1 and Class 2 listed devices. So we're still privately owned today. We can make a lot of decisions that impact the quality of spa products because we are privately owned, riffing off of medical. And, a lot of you do or do not know that. Our YouTube channel, huge. If you have therapists that you want to educate on various things, our YouTube channel has over 45,000 subscribers, and those are massage therapists. We're all in a staffing shortage today. Today, we're in about 80% of the schools as well. So please know that we do have a YouTube channel and we have 45,000 subscribers. And if you need help with specific protocols, chances are it lives on the Oakworks site. So many people do not know that, and I thought I would share that with you. And we can also help you find anything that you need. So because we're a medical company and we are made in the USA, this has been huge for us. We haven't had any delays in cross fingers. We're very grateful for that, and really having any tables or accessories that are being delivered. We've made some strategic decisions, but we haven't had any delays. Freight cost is tripling. Cost of materials is really tripling. So I would expect as a spa director for you to see a lot of the manufacturers move towards increasing in pricing on tables. So many have, we have not yet. And that's predominantly because, again, we're privately held and we are made in the USA. And so we're really looking at making some very strong management decisions and ensuring that we're here for our industry right now when it comes to costs. And you think about Rocky Mountain Spa Association and sustainability as well, and the impact that has on the globe when you do buy domestically. About 5% of our buy in terms of parts comes from overseas. So foot pedals, electric motors, those electric components, we have to buy overseas because nobody makes them here in the USA. Other than that, we pretty much buy everything where we can in terms of parts. And like I said, only 5% is overseas for us. And so that has a huge impact when it comes to sustainability. I mean, emissions alone from bringing things in its entirety from overseas is just huge. So, it's swung in Oakworks' direction. That's always been true to our philosophy, but I really think it's having a bottom line benefit for spas now as well. And so I'm excited for you when you start shopping, when you start looking at price points. There's going to be a huge advantage for really looking at domestic and buying in the USA in terms of quality, service, warranty. It's really about all of those things as well from a business side. We're going to get into guest comfort because I think that's the most important. It's really all about the guest, but you are also important as well. And we want to make sure that we're providing great service to you. So just know that, we're radical environmentalists. Our Oakworks was started by hippies. I grew up a radical environmentalist raised by hippies as well. It's kind of funny how the philosophies merge, but we only use clean and sustainable materials. And of course, we have a zero carbon footprint, very important. And then our FSC certifications and things of that nature are absolutely critical when these certifications, these verifiable certifications are so important. A lot of people tout sustainability, but really making sure that they're green and verifiable is very important. And we're a member for Trees for the Future. To date, we were actually almost at 1.5 million trees that we've planted. So we're very proud of that and financed the 1.5 planting of those trees. I'm going to go into even advanced materials that's going to help you in your conversations with your general manager. But for now, I wanted to keep it a baseline to just know that all of our materials are green and sustainable, of course. And then, you have that higher level where it comes to being domestic based as well. So just some fun back to medical really quickly. This is just fun for spa folks, but we actually have 30% of the ultrasound table share market in medical and 57% of the pain management market share in medical. And we have contracts all over the world in some of the largest hospitals. Why am I bringing that up? For us being part of some of the hugest contracts in the medical world. And then of course, in the hotel and resort world, these are some of the things that we've now become the brand standard for worldwide, is because it's really about, remember that bullet point number 1 for your general manager. It's really about risk management. My gosh, I just came back from Spa Tech. Bryce, who's on our team, just came back from Spa Tech. And I'm more passionate than ever about risk management. And that is because all of us as spa directors have incidents that we can talk about over our lifetime that we've experienced, right? Whether it be tables tipping, tables crushing certain body parts of therapists, tables collapsing, parts that could have occurred. There's all these things that are no fault of your own. Well, we as a medical company are fully FDA, we're produced in a factory that is, of course, monitored by the FDA and also ISO certified. But we ETL list all of our equipment. This is the symbol that you're seeing here for entire safety. It's so funny because 5 years ago, 6 years ago, nobody talked about any of this stuff. And Oakworks has always been fully ETL listed. And it was sort of this hush hush thing, but it's really important that we bring it to the forefront. And I would love, as we move along with each other, we can share different stories, but the entire table is tested for electrical safety, fire and electromagnetic radiation, weight capacity. Did you know that if you don't have a third-party certification, any of the table manufacturers can just claim whatever weight rating that they want? There's no regulatory body that really regulates what people are claiming when it comes to weight capacity. So because we're ETL listed, we triple weight test everything towards 5 times its rating, stability towards tipping, pinch hazards. I just was with another spa who shall remain nameless, and they were telling me they did not have Oakworks tables. They actually had a table come down on a therapist's toe and crush their toe in the middle of the service. Again, not an Oakworks table. I won't name the property, but it's so critical. So back to your GM speak. If you have old tables that are a risk, this is the kind of language that you want to bring forth to them. And be the expert. We can supply this slide for you when you're looking at incorporating new equipment, ensuring that we are your partner with that, despite whatever the price point is. But hospitals trust us worldwide. These hotel chains trust us worldwide. Every single professional sports team pretty much trusts us worldwide. And it's mainly because of the ETL triple certified listing. So super important. I want to pause here for a moment and I want to talk about this, the electromagnetic radiation. Tables are getting more and more complex. We're putting vibrational therapies by the way we do. They're putting in sound therapies by the way we do. Integrated heat, warming drawers, all of these things, which is fun, but we also need to be conscious of how is that affecting the environment in the room when it comes to what people are exposed to. You want to make sure that whatever touchless therapy or high-tech piece of device that you're implementing in your room does not affect things like pacemakers, doesn't affect the other electronic devices in your room. See, in a hospital setting, we have to be very careful that we're compliant when it comes to that. So very important that you do vet that out as we look at that. So, again, risk management may or may not be some of your at the top of the line when it comes to your general manager, but it may speak the language just enough for you to get your tables as a standalone, which is very important. I'm just going to check this chat down here really quickly. Good. Somebody said this is super interesting. Okay, good. I'm glad. Like I said, most of you are table experts, so I really wanted to make a conscious and take it to the next level with you when it comes to risk management. By the way, so we have to keep track of every single repair we've ever done at Oakworks in a 40-year history. That means because we are regulated by the FDA. So once a quarter, we meet and we look at every single incident that's ever reported. And we say, oh my gosh, we've had a 0.000001 incident on like a wheel on a stool, for example. So we bear that risk management with you as your trusted partner. So it's pretty fascinating to see what goes on behind the manufacturing scene. So also, if your therapists are talking about ergonomics or how their back feels, if they can get their legs underneath the table, you've got lots of employees, just know that we are your partner to make sure that we could either add accessories very inexpensively to things that you have already. For example, this is a buoyant shelf. We work with a company called Sound Ergonomics, who is the top ergonomic consultants in the world. And we created a very inexpensive accessory that can almost be added to any table to ensure that they have those proper ergonomics. So making sure that the shoulders are relaxed, making sure that the knees are underneath the table, having that proper 90-degree workspace, easy accessories we can add on to any table. And file this in the back of your head, because there has been a lot of HR claims, again, not Oakworks tables. This was actually developed for a top hotel chain that had a lawsuit against them, from an esthetician who was claiming she had back issues from not having the proper equipment, and we developed it for them. And that's how this was born. So do think of us as your partner if you're having any of those types of reports. And again, good language for you to have with your GM. So it just looks like this. Really easy, simple thing to use. Low height tables are also all the rage. Here's a chart for you that explains the proper height of the table to be positioned by the height of the therapist and by modality. So for example, if you have a 4'10" therapist and she's performing deep tissue work, your table should be positioned at a 23.6 inches height. And this is backed by clinical research and AMTA as well. So, your table's lowest setting may be 25 inches. Well, if you've got a 4'10" therapist, then it may be time to look at adding some low height tables. Again, language for your GM as well. Okay. So thank you for bearing with me on that. I think it's fascinating. Hopefully I didn't geek out too much on the risk management side of it, but I think it's super critical and it's super important. So now let's go to some of the fun stuff, because again, it's really about guest comfort and how does he or she feel when she's laying on the table. So we actually have a proprietary foam called aerosol foam, and you could choose between a 4-inch layer or a 6-inch layer. I love getting all of the customers or all the guests or all the spa directors. I'm missing iSpa this year because we don't have the opportunity to do this, but at Spa Tech, we got every single spa director on the table, because it's about how do you feel when you lay on the table. And so this proprietary foam floats the guest. It is the most luxury thing you will ever experience. Now, what is very, very important is there's a moderately firm layer, as you can see, a luxury layer, and then it's enveloped by another luxurious layer that is actually designed for the therapist, because the therapist can still slide their hands underneath and perform their manipulations without getting stuck. Any of the other, memory foam or any of the other things that are out there are actually improper ergonomics. So this has been studied and used for years to ensure that you have proper ergonomics for the therapist, but also that you have the supreme comfort. That 6-inch aerosol will change your life, but still strong enough and long lasting enough that you can perform some of the advanced modalities such as deep tissue or any sports or any clinical work. So really, really exciting. All of our foam is sourced in the USA. You know that it's the most clean when it comes to, and it's been verified as clean. When you get things from overseas, you just don't know what's in them. So I think that's important to state as well. I know that many of you have heard me talking about this, but again, I'm convicted more than ever. I started off the presentation with talking about PR and press. And this is also language to use with your GM or the higher ups. Beverly Hills Hotel had Travel and Leisure magazine, had reporters from all types of luxury publications that are geared towards the consumer. I had to come downstairs and work with the press and really ensure that we were giving them the proper quotes. It was pretty mind-blowing. Caitlin at Nema Colon, I was just with her. She has all ABC tables. She said, Jessica, we've been running this spa. We're world renowned. We're luxury 5-star, but also, we were just on The Bachelor, but guests are coming back just for ABC. The press is talking about ABC alone. So you've heard me talk about it. It's really about breast comfort. I've been in this business for 20 years. I was once a spa director. I remember thinking, oh my God, we've been doing it all wrong. And for the men that are on the line, I promise you, you will love it too, both from a pectoral stretch standpoint, both from, those properties that are really strong with golf or with skiing. You can do so many athletic things for men. I will tell you, men, your female guests who have large breasts or augmented breasts or even mastectomies, or it's that time of the month, it's a very sophisticated and discreet way. And I think that's the key. If we're rolling up towels and calling attention to that area, it's almost less sophisticated, isn't it? And so what happens is it was developed by a woman. It was developed by a female massage therapist. It took us 10 years to get the dimensions right. Once we put it out into the marketplace, other people violated the patent. They started copying it. That's neither here nor there. I'm just making that comment to say because it was so life-changing that, it was really important to be implemented across the industry. But the key is the dimensions were created by a woman and for female breasts of all sizes. So when you just lower that breastplate slightly, it's electronic breastplate, she will look up at you on the table and say, oh my God, this is the first time I've been able to have a massage without pain. Or, oh my gosh, what did you just do? And they get emotional. And, the press will still sing the praises. The guests, maybe you have returning guests every year. They will come back to you just for this because you were really thoughtful. By the way, the therapists love it as well because it helps lessen their workload. It makes their job easier on them because of the body positioning. So very, very exciting. These are the little things. It's not just a table of a rectangular piece of equipment that's going in the middle of your room. Lots of advancements now that we're doing. Excuse me, I'm going to take a pause and take a sip out of my tea. But lots of advancements that we're doing when it comes to body comfort, stretch protocols. It was really cool because we work, when we do these installations, we'll work with your therapist either virtually or in person to show them how do we tilt the table, put it in zero gravity? How do we come up with various stretch protocols? How do we tilt the table, position the ABC? And then they're inspired. If your therapists are needing new inspiration, they've been with you for years, we really like to work with you. And you can really customize that and make it your own branded, which is so important, so much of our passion. So again, I think that these are the types of things with your general manager that you can talk about. And by the way, if you're in the market for multiple tables, even if it's not until 2022, we can ship you a demo of a table so that your GM or your ownership or yourself or your staff can experience it for themselves as well. I think it's really all about that. And we're here one-on-one. No project is too small. If you just need table covers, we're here for you. If you just need a single stool, we're here for you. If you're planning a major CapEx, Bryce and I are here for you as well. So it's very, very cool. Let's go into, I think, back to, treatment room flow. Very important, low height tables. We want to avoid bending over as much as possible. I'm going back to some of the risk management stuff and the treatment room flow. You want to avoid bending over as much as possible. We make warming drawers that go into the table. It's a beautiful technology. But I think if I am, had my perfect vision of what a great treatment room flow looks like and what proper ergonomics are for the therapist, it's really about unique solutions with trolleys and wheeling up a beautiful piece of equipment such as this right next to the table and having it position properly to their right or to their left, depending on if they're left-handed or right-handed. This is not an inexpensive trolley. It's a beautiful piece of equipment that will last you decades, and we can customize it and build it to the way that you want. So in the top here, we can store products and really conceal it in a nice way. That you have an option for a warming drawer. Oh my gosh, warming drawers are such a fun new technology that our industry so needed. You can heat dry goods, you can heat stones in under 10 minutes. I think it's all about rapid efficiency with operations. and it's triple safety certified, so you know that your therapist will not get burned. Let's just talk about old roasters for a second, how long they take to heat up and how much they burn the therapist. So you know that these are triple safety certified, and you can see how you can really roll that up right next to the therapist and have it be a great working area. Plus, it's just a beautiful piece of equipment. You could stow your hot towel cabbies in here as well. So this is a great option, I think, when it really comes to treatment room flow. Otherwise, you do have options like hot towel cabbies in the bed, and I think that if you have a tiny treatment room or maybe a one-off for like an outdoor cabana, then that might be the only option. And we do make those, but I think that it's really about preserving the ergonomics with that as well. So we are coming out with our new lounger. Oh my gosh, our lounger, just if you're thinking about things, great for salt environments. It's a stationary, zero gravity. It has all medical grade, and this is language for you and your GM too, medical grade fabric, new commercial finishes that are just gorgeous. We have the option to select antibacterial or antimicrobial finishes now, both on tables and trolleys and different things. I mean, I think that we're through the worst of the pandemic. It's kind of like, I'm like you guys, I really want to move forward. But if some of these, languages still become relevant today, notice that we have sourced really good materials when it comes to thinking about antibacterial and antimicrobial. We just invested in one of the only CNC machines that's going to be completely eliminating seams and spaces for gaps for disinfecting. So again, so much updated language for you to use as well, and we'll help make something succinct for you if you would like and help you with that presentation as well. I'm gonna skip over to this really quickly. This is so huge. How long is the equipment going to last you? We now, from a sustainability standpoint, oh my gosh, this is a huge splash. Everything is a one-piece, removable one-piece top. Many of you have been running spas for many years. You know that the tops, whether it's Oakworks or any brand, are the first to go. I mean, ours are known for lasting a long time, but the bases are still pretty good. So when it comes to capital expenditure planning or the lifespan of the table, how long will it last? This is really improving the lifespan. And, again, it's probably not good for manufacturing business because we want to sell a new table every 10 years or 15 years, but now we won't have to. And we wanted to do the right thing from a conscious standpoint and from a sustainability standpoint to ensure that we did one-piece removable tops. So that's new language to use with your GM or your ownership or yourself. And I don't mean to imply here that GMs in every single situation are the final decision maker. Maybe you are, and that's great, but it's things to really help you shine as an equipment expert and be knowledgeable when you are making your presentation to any of the decision makers or any of the stakeholders. So one-piece removable top. So we implemented this in about October of 2020 for about 8 months now. If anybody's ordered a table in the last 8 months, you now have one-piece replaceable tops, which is just huge. Huge, 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 huge. And same with integrated heat. Integrated heat is now hospital grade. It has been adopted from the automobile industry. If I take a step back for a second about risk management, if any of you have the heating pads, those can be a fire risk. They usually don't last a long time. They're a pain in the butt. You know what I'm talking about? I'm speaking with our people here because I was a spa director too. And so integrated heat is really come a long way. There's a little bit of a learning curve. Those heating pads that you have that are exterior, those reach 160 degrees Fahrenheit. It has been proven at 160 degrees that actually causes cellular damage to the individual laying on them. So new heat, hospital grade, triple safety rating, integrated, last for a long time, super easy to repair if at all, if you ever need to, reaches 105 degrees Fahrenheit, which is still really warm. So we'll hold your hand one-on-one with that a little bit, but that's a very important learning lesson when it comes to heat as well. Again, risk management, speaking that language, you want to have a triple safety certified integrated heat, one that doesn't reach 160 degrees and one that does not cause cellular damage. and one that preserves the comfort of your luxury table. Just not having any cords. Oh my gosh, cords are another trip hazard. So we could go on and on and on. These are fun things. And hopefully I'm inspiring you of buttons that you can push that are the hot buttons for any of your stakeholders or decision makers. So I know that it's 2:39. We have a few minutes left. Before I move on to just really easy things you can do to upgrade some of your tables, super passionate about, like I said, our warming drawers earlier, dry goods, hot stones, any of those things. It's a silent push close. Oh my gosh, we just came back from Spa Peeps and Spa Tech, and this was like the hottest topic was warming drawers. It's a true showstopper. So give us a thumbs up if you saw them there as well. And you can see it in person. So they're not too expensive as well. It's an easy accessory we could add onto your trolleys or your tables. We make them in tables. Like I said earlier, it's probably more ergonomically sound to have them in your trolley, but we do make them in tables as well. So in the interim, if your CapEx is not until 2022 and you're looking at your equipment and you're like, oh my gosh, we're open, I have a secret shame nobody knows about, my tables are cracked, my face cushions are cracked, it happens. I understand completely. We do make a medical grade table cover. It's the same fabric as our regular tables. It will fit almost any brand. Reach out to us. It's even a good idea to create a hygienic barrier between your heating pad if you have it, and hopefully I didn't make you feel bad if you do, but your heating pad if you have it, and your hygienic barrier between your heating pad and of course the guest. In many states right now, Holly, maybe you can chime in the States, this is actually a legal requirement. So just know these are long lasting. They don't disturb the guest experience. They're not loud. They're not creaky. It's the same fabric. Super passionate about these. And by the way, we make covers for practically everything. So your stools, if you don't have their budget right now to upgrade your stools, we make covers for that. We make waterproof pillow covers, the traditional pillow covers. We can just add additional padding to some of your ones. You might need to doctor up some things or band-aid some things until they do give you that CapEx budget for 2022 or 23, and we're here for you on that. Other things is like, if you're doing a lot of outdoor treatments or in-room treatments, we can do some really inexpensive things to make your portable tables or your non-electric tables feel like 10,000 bucks. So reach out to us for that too, and we'll be happy to work with you on that. So thank you so much for taking the time. In summary, obviously drop dead gorgeous things. We are doing touchless therapies. I think I'll end with this, which is, your ROI when you're talking with your general manager is super critical. Our philosophy is spending capital one time on a table that's multi-treatment, that could be used for facials, body treatments, massages, and then there's different sound healing therapies that we can do as well, woven into the tables that you could use during downtime or into your loungers. We just did that custom experience, for Canyon Ranch as well, where we created a custom touchless journey therapy for them. So I think that's really important. Massage is still 85% of the spa world business. And I had a really great mentor once who taught me, sometimes we're trying to be so innovative in a world of wellness, but I think we can't turn our backs on the market, and the market wants human connection. The market wants, mental health. Loneliness is at the core really of mental health. And so our philosophy really is to have all those three things woven into one for our maximum ROI, which again, I think will help you with your talks with your general manager and your ownership. So thank you so much for taking the time to spend with us. We have some information that we'll share and circulate in a one sheet. Sometimes even things like this in a one sheet for your general manager is all you need. Talking about being ISO certified, medical grade certified, ETL listing, safe touch heating, sustainability, respiratory health, and ergonomics and positioning. I think this is a great little one sheet you could use for yourself, and then you could make it your own, And again, or you can feel free to transfer it right onto your decision maker. So thank you very much.
Oh my gosh, that was awesome.
Oh, thank you, Holly.
I was like, I'm seeing all this stuff, and as many of you know, I'm no longer in an operation. After 20 years of being in operations, this is kind of my first time in a very long time not being not having a reason to present this compelling argument for new capex dollars. And it's like, I'm like, how do I get back in? How do I get back in?
They say that
Now take this knowledge that I'm like armed with, like I've never been before, and have them be like, yes, that is a great point. New tables, new tables, new tables.
it's the one thing we put our guest on, and spas become the pillar of every hotel now.
Mm-hmm.
And then underneath that is the one thing we're putting our guests on. So we should have renewed vigor and passion for all these things. So it's great.
No, that's cool. I mean,
Yeah.
of course, I was like, in the chat, like, wow, I love this,
Thank you.
And I'm sure it was really enlightening to everyone. Ben and John, I mean, both of them love your tables. I'm not sure what they have at their properties. But if either one of you have any questions or want to chime in, now's the time, because we are getting ready to wrap it up here pretty soon. We'll give it a couple more minutes if needed. But you guys are, I mean, your energy is just awesome, Jessica, and I miss seeing you in person.
I miss seeing you in person too. We're gonna make that happen for sure.
That happen for sure, for sure. All right, yes.
All right.
Cool. Well, let me close this out with this. First of all, again, thank you both, Jessica and Bryce, for joining us today and really, truly arming us with all sorts of, information on how to, I guess, in a sense, sell to those stakeholders and decision makers our why for why we need to, upgrade, change out, or what have you. John just commented here, exchanging the tops.
Oh.
Hi. And of course, being a female, I've been a big fan of the breastplate forever and just learned that it now raises too. I don't know, just incredible. Right. So thank you for sharing all of that. It's like been a mind-blowing 45 minutes, to be honest with you, and that is not an exaggeration. I'm not blown away all that easily. So thank you so much for that. But before I let you go, next Tuesday, we are not here because we will be in Snowbird, Utah for our first in-person event of 2021. We're kicking it off at the Cliff Lodge and Spa. So if any of you listening in are in and around the Salt Lake City, or honestly, anywhere in the state of Utah, and you want to come join us, reach out to us. I'll get an invitation sent over to you, and so you can pop in. It's our treat, thanks to the generosity of the sponsors for that particular event. And we'll be back the week after that on Tuesday, 12 p.m. Mountain Time, same place. So Zoom, join the conversation, or watch us live on Facebook, and we will have another brand here with us. Why am I blanking? Planetary. That's who's with us. It's a new CBA brand, not CBD, CBA brand. CBA. So be there or be square, and we will look forward to seeing you back in a couple of weeks. Have a wonderful weekend. We're not there yet. I know it's early. No. I'm already headed that way.
Week.
I'm excited. Week. Have a wonderful week and weekend, and we'll see you soon. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, Holly.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.